Bismillahi, alhamdulillahi, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi, rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri, wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to our Unlock Quran series course 2 and the grammar part. Today we'll be doing the grammar part in which we will understand the Quran in a very, very easy way, inshallah. And today our lesson is connected. We have already finished 1a of the Quran, the pointer 1a. Now this grammar lesson is connected to pointer 1a of page 1 of Quran. So this is how it's going to go. So this is pointer lessons 1a, 1b, 1c, 1d. The last class we have already finished pointer lesson 1a, and that is the Quran. Now connected to 1a, there will be simultaneously running parallel, there will be a grammar lesson. So we finished pointer 1a, Quran, and grammar 1a. So today we have grammar with 1a, inshallah. Now, just to remind you again that we have a lot of resources here because we are trying to make grammar very, very simplified and easy in such a way that you do not get overwhelmed with the heavy, terminologies of grammar and get confused about it. So so the way the grammar course is taught in a way that it's just you have to learn how to speak, learn how to read. When you read the Quran, you should just understand. That's our aim. Our aim is not to learn the heavy terminologies of grammar. So now I have given you loads of resources here. One is the Google quiz for self-assessment. It will be in the description box, and in that you will in the Google quiz you will also see a small video there, the original source from where I got this curriculum. And may Allah bless them for this course. And mashallah, it's running very well and we are all enjoying it. And the second one, the thing is you have the Quran textbook. And with the Quran textbook, the Quran which we did in lesson 1, the lesson 1a, the pointer lessons, in that you will have the textbook for the pointer lessons, and you will have a workbook and an answer book. Likewise, you also have a grammar book, the textbook. So the textbook is everything which I'm teaching you. So whatever I'm talking right now, everything is in the textbook. So the textbook will give you like a revision of whatever, like after listening to the video, you'll go through the textbook, you'll have everything there. And then of course there is a grammar workbook, an answer sheet, answer book to it, and the vocabulary sheet which you should carry everywhere with you. Now this is a sample of the first page of the grammar workbook. So this over here you see one grammar workbook 1a, introduction of weak verbs. So you have got 6 questions and you have got space there to write your answers. And then you have a grammar workbook, answer book, where all the answers are given. So first question, how many nouns, verbs, particles are there in every line of the Quran? The answer is right there. So what I would really suggest, in fact, I would insist that you should print the grammar workbook so that with a pencil, with a pen, you can write all the answers. And then, of course, you don't need to print the textbook and the answer book. I mean, we want to save paper. That's all, save the paper. And of course, you have to also print the vocabulary sheet, because the vocabulary sheet is going to be in your pocket. Wherever you go, it's going to walk with you, inshallah. So here you are. This is your workbook and your answer book. All the answers are there for you. So whenever you finish your work, immediately you will know your answers and do your correction right then and there, inshallah. All right. So now, every line, the Quran, in every line of the Quran, there are, approximately you will see every line, you will see there are 9 words of the Quran. And you will notice that in every line of the Quran, you open the Quran and just look at it. In every line, you will see 3 ism, that is the 3 nouns. You will see 3 fa'al, fa'al are the 3 the verbs. And you will find 2 harf, harf are the particles. And you will find 1 which could be mostly ism or harf or maybe a fa'al also. So one of any of these you will find there. But most you will see majority of it you will see it in this way to complete the 9 words of every line of the Quran. All right, a little quiz, quick. How many words in every line of the Quran?
9.
Oh, mashallah. Hey. Okay, 9. Let's give you a proof. Now, I told you this. I tell whatever I tell you, I give you with evidence. So let me give you the evidence. 9. So this ism. You know what is ism? Ism is a noun. It is any word which begins with al, un, in, and un, in, an, and an, in, un. The tanween and the un, in, an, at. So here you go. This is a sample page. Look at it. Every line, 3 ism. 1, 2, 3, 2 over here, 2 here, 3, like about 4 here, and 3 here, 2. So on an average, you see there are 3 ism in every line. Okay. So this is done. Now the next one, fa'al. Fa'al is, these include the nouns of the verb table which we did. The table we did fa'ala, yaf'alu, you know, that table which did of the madi and mudari and amr. So all this pink you see includes that. And the one which is got a little blue line, it includes that, you know, fa'il, maf'ul, fa'il. You know, remember we did that? So these are the words which are based on fa'il, maf'ul, fi'l. So whatever we have taught you, it's all there. Now the third part is harf. So this is the harf. See, now in each line, you will see 2 words. There are 2 words here. Next line, I see 3 words, 3 words, 2 word, 1 word, 2 word, 2 word, 2 words. So that means on the whole, you will see like 2 words per line you will find of harf. Now, we've seen 3 words per line for noun, 3 words per line for word, 2 words for harf, and 1 could be any. So that is the complete page, and it will look like this. See, this is how your page is going to look like. You know, the blue ones are all nouns, the pink ones, they are the verbs, the yellow ones are the huruf. Alhamdulillah. So now, little quiz. How many nouns in every line of the Quran on an average?
3.
Yes, 3 to 4 times. Very good. How many verbs in every line of the Quran?
3.
Yes. And how many particles in every line of the Quran on the average?
2 to 3.
Yes. Now, all right, we are done. Now let's look at, because now we are looking at the Quran and you should be able to identify this is a noun, this is a verb. So harf, it's very easy to identify harf because harf does not change. You have like ma, ala, or la, or min, all these kind of words which we have, and they do not change the word. So it's like it's very simple. The way you read it, it's always going to appear in the same way. So this is simple to identify. Nouns. Now, if you want to identify nouns, that's also very easy to identify. Only the thing you will have to do is know the plural of it. Sometimes, like the word qalb, the plural of qalb is qulub. So you should know qalb. So when qulub comes, you know, oh, this means it's a plural of qalb. Like kitab, kutub. So if you know the singular and plural, you'll have no problem identifying the nouns. And the main challenge is in the verb, because the verb, you know, they have like many. We have the madi, mudari, amr, and then you have that fa'il, maf'ul, fa'il. All this, that is the main challenge which we will face. And inshallah, we will get over that also as we progress. We'll be doing more and more. And of course, we will do more and more revisions. We'll revise and we'll keep moving forward, inshallah, provided you keep doing your homework and you are up to the mark. Now, fa'al. Now we have learned fa'al. What were the types of fa'al? Remember, we have done fataha, nasara, daraba, samia. You remember that? We have done that. Now these are the words we did in fa'al. Fataha, daraba, nasara. the fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a. And on this ground, we expanded that big table. You know, fa'ala, yaf'alu, if'al. These three words I had given you. And fa'ala means all the madi. Yaf'alu is all the mudari. And if'al was amr. We did all this. We have done all this. Now today, before we move ahead, today's lesson is about weak letters. So in this course, we are going to do weak letters. What are the weak letters? Now let me tell you something. If you're very sick, or if you got hurt, or you're in severe pain, what do? I got severe pain. Ah, or I say ee, or I say ooh, I got hurt so badly. Ooh. Remember? So it's just a, e, oo. Remember that, okay? You just need to remember a, e, oo are the words when you're in severe pain. And when you got severe pain, or you're really sick, or you're really hurt, what happens to your whole entity at that time? You become weak. That's the time weakness sets into you, because you are in pain. So these are a, e, u. So hamza, ya, and waw. Wherever these words will appear, those will be the weak words. So just keep in your mind. In any letter, in any word, if these three, a, e, u, whenever these come in, they are weak, because they are doing a, e, u. They are in pain. All right, so let's look at. So if we have a weak letter in a fa'al, that means let's take this word, wahaba. Wow, wow is weak. It's the first letter is wow, and it is ooh. That means it's weak. So it's a weak word. Wa'ada. Wow. Woo. Again, it's weak. So wa'ada. It's a weak letter. Qala. There is a hamza. There's an alif in the middle. So qala, it's a weak verb. So this is how you're going to understand that by looking at it, that whenever a word, you look at a word, if e, u is there, it's a weak word, a weak verb, okay? Now, the rest of the words which don't have the e, u, the alif and ya and wow, if they don't have that, those are called sound words. So this thing what we did, fataha, nasara, daraba, sami'a, there is no a, e, u, there's no alif, ya and wow. So this means these are sound words. So now you have understood what's the difference between a sound word and a weak verb. Okay, the sound word are the verbs which three-letter verbs based on this pattern, and the weak verbs are the verbs which will have alif, ya, and waw in it. A, e, u. So this is you just have to remember. So now you know whenever you see a word, you will know exactly. If I ask you, you will know what is a sound verb, and you'll know the weak word. Now, both these words, they appear the sound verbs will appear 9,000 times in the Quran, and the weak verbs will also appear 9,000 times in the Quran. You should remember that. So it's quite a lot. It's a big amount. So literally, there's one sound letter and one weak letter in every line of the Quran. Literally, you will find it. So this means on every line, if you're going to find a sound or a weak letter, that means it's very important. And we have to do this very well. And so that is why we are going to focus on the weak verbs in this course. It's because sound verbs we have done already in the previous course. We've done all this. We will start developing on the weak words. So what will happen? We have known, 9,000 and 9,000, 18,000 words we know already. Okay, there's one more type of word that's called mazid fi, which we are not going to do now. So mazid fi is, for example, is ikhtalaf. Ikhtalaf means he differed. So So khalaf is the word, but so the word actually is khalaf, kha, lam, and fa. But two extra words are added, that hamza and ta. Hamza and ta. So that's become extra words. So when extra words are added, it is mazid fi. That means it is increase in it. There's increase in it. The other one is istaghfar. Istaghfar means to ask for forgiveness. So here, ghafara is the forgiveness, means the word is actually ghafara. But here istaghfar. So that means three more letters are added into the verb. So this, inshallah, we will learn later. We're not going to learn in this course. So you can I just gave you a little bit of information, and later on in the future we will do this. So just keep this at the back of your head. Just put it somewhere and forget about it. All right, sound verbs. Which are the sound verbs? Can you choose and tell me which are the sound verbs here?
Taha, Nasara,
Mashallah. And weak verb.
Wahaba, Kana,
Yes, Kana. So you have waw and alif here. What is mazid fi?
Mazid fi means extra,
Yes.
Verbs
Verbs
with
with
extra
extra.
letters.
Yes, correct. Verbs with extra letters. Like,
fi.
correct. And now here, what would give me? Which is give me the examples which mazid.
Istaghfara, Istaghfara,
Yes, ikhtalafa and istaghfara. So we got this much, alhamdulillah. Now, just a little bit of a quick reminder of our previous class. Remember, Madi we did fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alta, fa'altu, fa'altum, fa'alna. Okay. Mudare, remember we had done yaf'alu, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, af'alu, taf'aluna, naf'alu. So these are the TPI, the total physical interaction. We are using our hands so that we remember which direction and what the verb is. So you know the whole pattern. And then the next one was if'al, if'alu. Then this was the nahi was la taf'al, la taf'al. And then fa'il, maf'ul, fa'il. We have done all this. So this is just a little bit of for you to get back your memories. Just look at this table, and you all have this from the previous course. You all have this with you, and you can, on the basis of this, you can make so many words like fataha, yaftahu, iftah. So and once you know these three, you can do the rest. Now, these were the four styles of verbs we had picked up, and on the basis of these four styles, we did many words. We did so much practice in course one. We have already done. So if you know one style, you can give this whole table on that. Like if I tell you fataha, you will know. You will do all this. The whole table you will give it to me. So we've done like loads of practice on that. And we also learned, so fataha was fataha yaftahu, and that means if you open fataha, means if you open the Qur'an, nasara, Allah will help you. Daraba, otherwise you will be hit. And therefore you listen, samia. So remember we had done this. So whenever you want to remember this verb, these four words, you have to only remember. If you open the Quran, fataha, Allah will help you, nasara. Otherwise, you will be hit, daraba. Therefore, listen, samia. So if you just remember, if you open the Quran, some fataha, Allah will help you, nasara. Otherwise, you will be hit, daraba. Therefore, listen, samia. We did this. And because of this, now we remember these four words from the previous course. Now, in this course too, we will focus on the three-letter verbs, which are the weak words, weak words which occur in the Quran in every line. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Now, first of all, Wahaba, wa'ada. So these, you will find these weak verbs like alif, ya, and waw in the beginning, the first word. So the first word of the three letters could be the weak word, or you can find it in the middle. Qala, zada, in the middle. You found this in the middle, or you'll find it in the end. Da'a, hada. It's in the end. So you will, if you find this alif, ya, and waw in the it could be anywhere. It could be a first letter, middle letter, or end letter. This means it's a weak verb, and we will learn these verbs in detail. And it is very much very much similar to the fa'ala table, which I showed you just now. So it will go into the same pattern of the fa'ala table. Only the difference is that those were the sound letters which we did. These are the weak letters which weak words we'll be doing in this course. All right, but how will you remember these? Okay, first of all, let's know the meaning. Wahaba, wahaba, he gave. Rabbana, hablana min azwajina. See, you have this dua. Rabbana hablana min ladunka zurriyatan tayyiba. So hab, this word comes in the Qur'an again and again. You will see. Hab means gave, to give his bounties. Wa'ada, wa'ada means promise, to make a promise. Wa'ada, wa'ada. So wa'ada is promise. So wahaba, he gave. Wa'ada, he promised. Qala, qala is repeated so many times in the Quran too. So qala means he said. Qala, he said. Qala, zada. Zada means increased, to become more. Zad, zad, ziyada. It comes from ziyada. Ziyada is zad, zada. Okay. The next is da'a. Da'a means he prayed, he did dua. From dua, da'a. Dua is dua. Da'a means he prayed. Hada, from huda, hada, Rabb, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. So it comes, the hada is to give hidayah. It comes from the word hidayah, to give guidance. So hada is he guided. So hidayah is guidance. Hada is he guidance. So we know now the meaning of all these four words. Now how will we remember these four words? Let's do something which will link us to remember these four words. First of all, this is how you're going to remember. Wahaba, Allah will give. Allah will give. Wahaba, Allah will give. Wahaba. And wa'ada, wa'ada, it's a promise. Allah will give. Wahaba, it's a promise. Wa'ada. Again, Allah will give. Wahaba, it's a promise. Wa'ada. In fact, he said. Qala. In fact, he said. Who said? Allah said. In fact, he said. Qala. He will give more. Zada, increased. He will give more. Zada. So, in fact, he said. Qala. He will give more. Zada. So, let's read it again together. Allah will give. Wahaba. It's a promise. Wa'ada. In fact, he said. Qala. He will give more. Zada. Then, da'a. Therefore, pray to him. Pray to him. Da'a. Therefore, pray to him. For what? For guidance. Hada. For guidance. Hada. So we will remember. Allah will give. It's a promise. In fact, he said he will give more. Therefore, pray to him for guidance. This is what you have to learn. This should be into your head. Again, let's repeat it once more together. Wahaba, Allah will give. Wahaba, Allah will give. Wa'ada, it's a promise. Wa'ada, it's a promise. Qala, in fact, Allah said. Qala, Allah said. Qala. And zada, to increase. He will give more. So Allah said, he will give more. Zada, zada. So da'a, therefore, pray to him. Da'a, And for what? For guidance. Hada. So just remember this, Allah will give. It's a promise. In fact, He said He will give more. Therefore, pray to Him for guidance. Okay. So this was the end of our lesson. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta subhanaka wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. May Allah help us to recite the Quran, understand, ponder over it, implement and propagate and memorize the Quran, inshallah. And
Amin.
see you in the next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.